Hi all. Okay, it's next morning. That dried up pretty good. And it's pretty level too. I can just barely feel a ridge, but it's pretty good. It turned out pretty good. I got this hole here. I kept these leftover pieces. None of them fit that hole. That's a pretty good size hole there. So I'm going to try and cut a piece out that fits this. See, that's a pretty deep hole. Some of these have some wood on the back, so I'd be able to get some thickness from it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with this one here. See if I can cut a piece. Got a little piece of a hacksaw here. I'm just gonna use that to chop it up here. That stuff's pretty hard. I need a better saw. This is getting old. Oh, just kind of broke away. See, I gotta match the grain. Grain's going that way. Okay, so up and down here. This ain't gonna be easy. I think I'll file a little bit off here. Okay, looks like crap, but I think I'm gonna go with it. It fills in the hole. Now all I gotta do is glue it. It's a little big. I could probably take a little more off, but I don't want to mess it up. Keep messing around with it. Okay, that patch turned out pretty good. It's not perfect, but it'll do. It's been sitting all day, so it's pretty hard. I went to Walmart and I got this stuff here. Old English scratch cover. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe this down and see how it works here. Okay, before I do that, I found out I forgot I had this stain. It's old stuff. I don't even know if it's any good. A trip wood stain. So I got some on a screwdriver here. I'm going to try this on here to see how it works. I suppose I should have read the directions first, huh? Simplest way to stain wood. Directions: shake well before using. Prepare for service by staining by removing all wax, grease, dirt. Do not apply to any wood sealers. Sand, smooth, and dust. Apply stain with brush. Remove excess stain with clean, moist rag in circular rubbing motion. Then wipe with the grain, blending lighter and darker areas to one consistent color. If color is too dark, rub with clean rag wetted with water. If too light, apply more stain. Allow to dry 45 minutes. Then protect with Carver Trip Clear Finish. Okay. Doesn't say how long to leave it on. Let's see what it looks like. I guess it's better than a hammer hole, right? I think it's because there was glue on there. So. I should have sanded it a little bit. Better late than never, huh? I'd be better off with brown paint. So the part I'm trying to pick off is that patch. A little piece of sandpaper here. Let's see what I can do with this. enough the other part. Okay, let's try it again here. Shake well. Or not the shake, it's so old. Yep, I think that's good enough. Filled in the hole. Won't scratch up my arm. Somewhat brown. Better than a big hole, right? Okay, we'll let that soak in for a while, see what happens. Okay, so what I started messing around with was the neck. I had bought this stuff, right? And I bought something similar. It wasn't the dark stuff, but I bought it a long time ago. And I got just a little bit left. But what you do is you just apply it to the neck. Let it sit overnight. It's the oil. Soaks into the neck. Keeps the fretboard soft. Keeps the wood soft so it doesn't crack. And how often? It just depends on how picky you want to be, but I'd say once a year at the least. At least. Every time you change strings, just light coat. Leave it sit overnight. And I'm even going to put it on the rest of the guitar too. Let's see here. See if I can find a good spot for you here. The other stuff I bought, it was the same company, but it wasn't dark. I bought the dark stuff this time because of that hole. But I don't think it's going to matter. It just wipes off. This is supposed to scratch cover for dark woods. For scratch cover for dark woods. It may not be a good idea because every little scratch, every little dent's going to be dark. Oh well, too late now. Drip some down in the holes here to get it soft. May make it a little slippery, but it'll wear off. You don't want these things to crack. They'll pull right off the wood, and then that's a major job to fix. Probably be cheaper just to buy a new guitar. So try to keep the wood oiled up. Less chance of cracking. I had a student once. I taught for 8 years in my own store. I didn't really sell much strings and picks, maybe, but I just taught. Freestanding building right on Main Street here in town, is a small town. Roughly maybe 30 to 60 students. 30 to 60 students a week, depending on how much I advertise. But I had one student got a brand new guitar for Christmas, and but he didn't get the case. He's just a young kid, and he said he went from the warm house to the warm car during the winter, and it cracked. You know, so always get a case. Just a crack right down the front, you know, small crack. You know, he thought it wouldn't hurt it, but as soon as it hit that cold air, it cracked. So keep them moist and get a case. I'm going to go ahead and wipe everything down but that spot up there. Then I'm going to leave it sit overnight, and then tomorrow we'll put strings on it. I hope this isn't going to turn my fingers brown. What the hell you been doing? Why is your finger brown? Don't let your girlfriend do that. I used to have a girlfriend that liked that. I wouldn't let her. That's nasty. It would be good if you had some type of mat here, a rug or something, so the guitar didn't get scratched up. But this is an old guitar. I'm not really worried about it. If this was a newer guitar, I wouldn't be doing that. So. Trying to get all into the little cracks and crevices here. You could take these off and clean them, but I'm not going to. I don't want to end up stripping the screws here, so they seem to be in good shape. I'm not going to mess with them. This one's a little loose. You could go inside and tighten up the screw. We'll see how it works. If it works okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I am by no means a guitar mechanic, but just by messing around with my own, I kind of got the hang of things a little bit. It gets expensive bringing to the shop for every little thing. plan my videos, huh? What's that called? Analysis paralysis. You analyze things too much and never get nothing done. I was going to wait till tomorrow to do this part, but I wanted to let it soak overnight, so I figured I'd go ahead and video it. Okay, we got a guitar here. We're going to clean her up. Last night I soaked it in this stuff. I've got this old English scratch cover for dark woods, about $5. I've got that soaking on the neck. I let that soak overnight. And then this one, old English lemon oil, which is kind of a clear yellow polish. I put that all over the body and let that soak. And then I had this old polish here, spray polish. I sprayed that on the inside and wiped it down. It was starting to mold on the inside. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wipe this down and put strings on it. I did put a rug down here. Guitar wouldn't get all scratched up. The last couple videos have been kind of rushed and weren't really prepared. This patch turned out pretty good. Not really a match as far as the wood. It's a pretty good tight fit. And I keep putting more polish on it. It might darken up, but it's pretty smooth though. It's not bad. This patch here. Go easy on the neck. You don't want to bend the neck. A bent neck on the guitar is a bad thing. Throws everything off. So. that looks pretty good. It's been a while since I took the strings off this, so the plastic was getting old. The nut here, the bridge down here, the plastic, and the pins that hold the string in. So I ordered these off Amazon. You get a small kit. It was only like $5, and it came with two bridges. I've never used this type before. These angled things, I don't really know what those would be for. It would change the length of the string so it would sound different. So, see, like the older ones were just flat. It's just one straight piece of plastic. And the nuts were up here. They would work. They would work, but they're not. They're just a little small. It would work. See if I can show you here. I think it would work if I had to, but it's just a little different, just a little smaller. So I'm not gonna bother with these since this one still seems to be in pretty good shape. Sometimes if you can take these off, sand them down a little bit, put like toothpicks underneath there to raise it up if you have to. So this one seems to be in pretty good shape, so I'm not gonna mess with it. We'll see how the strings lay. If the strings don't lay right, we might have to work with it. I don't have a lot of experience with acoustics. You know, I've got a couple, but I haven't seen them all. This plastic thing, I think these usually just sit inside here, right? But what this one has is it's got this thing here that you can raise these up and down like this. That would go in here. That would go in here, and then you can raise the height with this. This would go up and down. See, this would go in here like this. Then you put these in here, and you can raise that up and down depending on how high you want the strings here. So I don't. This one doesn't fit here. I don't know what I did with the old one. I might have thrown it out because I can't find the old pins either. So I probably threw them out because I didn't want to use them again. If I had them around, I might throw them back on. You know, they're getting old and brittle. So both of these are long. This one here, I'd like to use this one here, but it flops around in there. It's too big, so that won't work. These fit. It wouldn't flop around, but they're too long. And if I just shave it off, then I got this stuff down here. And they got all these weird angles here. I guess they tried to shave this off a little bit so there's not as much tension on the strings. So I think I'm going to take a little bit off each side. A little bit off this side, a little bit off this side, and then it should drop down inside there. And then we'll see how the strings sit. Okay. Okay, I used a grinder to bring it down just a little bit. So this notch here, I left that notch on there so the string wouldn't slide off. And this side kind of hits the nut here. So I'm just gonna use this file and just kind of sand off the edges a little bit here. Okay, see, I just took this and just kind of sanded that down a little bit. Smoothed out the edges. Both sides. So, and then, see, most of the, I looked around eBay, and the ones that I saw, they always had this on a thin string. If I put that on the thin string down here, these angles are kind of awkward. Okay, I'll go ahead and put them on the thin strings. Okay. And I can still turn my knobs. So that's a tight fit. See how the thick strings will be up a little higher than the thin strings here. See, what I was worried about was how they angled this here. Up here it's not angled as much. They got an angle on this side, but not on the back side over here. That's kind of weird. I don't know. New techie stuff. Musicians and instruments, they always change things. They've even tried changing the piano keyboard over the years. It's like changing the steering wheel on a car. Let's put it in the back, it'll be better back there. Okay, these this was actually two sets. They give you 2 sets, like $5 or so. So I got plenty of pins. You can see these pins here. I don't know if you can see it. There's like one side's got like a cutout here. That's where the string would lie. And then you shove that down in the hole and hope it locks in place. Okay. Bought these strings off Amazon. 3 sets. I think I got them really cheap, like $10 or so, or even less. Light gauge, because acoustics are usually hard to play. So thicker strings might sound better, but just to practice and fiddle around the house, it's real hard on your fingers, real hard on your elbow to play, you know. So thin strings are nice. Okay, they aren't given the sizes. I was looking for the sizes of each string. See, if I take these out of the box here, you got 3 sets. 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. But if I open these up, okay, here's how they're doing it. First string is silver, second string is purple, third string is green, fourth string is black, fifth string is red. I don't know if you can see that. Sixth string is black, is brass. That's the stuff along there. So when we open this, there's just going to be a bunch of strings, right? Don't just buy one set, because if you have one string break, you got to run to the store and buy your thin string. Some sets will come with 2 thin strings because you always break that one. So. Let's see what they got going on here. Don't cut the strings. Okay, they've got them color coded by the ends here. That's how we know which string is which. We could figure it out just by looking at the thickness, but then we're kind of guessing. So with this color code thing here, there's no guesswork. So I'm going to start with the thick string. See, what you do here is don't put this string on first, because then when you put this string on, you got to fight around this string. So put this string on, then this string, then this string, and then this one, then this one, then this one. Follow me? So put this one on first, then put this one on, and then put this one on. See, if you put this one on first, then when you put this one on, this string is going down here, you got to fight around it. It won't be that big of a deal, but it's just one less thing you got to fight with. The tricky part is going to be getting these things to stick down in. So, okay, so they've got them wound up into 3 bundles here. 3 bundles, so thick ones, medium ones, and thin ones. So we'll start with the thick ones here. Let's see. The thick one is brass, and then the 5th string is red. So these are the 2 thick ones. So brass. So in case you've never seen a string, it's got that little round ball. Most of them are like that. On some of the classical guitars, there's nothing here, and you just tie it on both ends. The other end is just a piece of metal. Stick it out. Okay, so this, you take one of these pins, put that in the notch here like that. See that? And then push that down into the hole. See, there's that little cutout here. Just jam it down in there. Okay, you missed that, huh? Okay. We'll do it again here. Shoot. That's in there pretty good. Yeah, at least you know they're gonna work. Okay, so that's not gonna focus when it was close. Okay, so we got this thing here. Put that in there. Put that down in the hole. Have that hole pointing this way, right? Push that down in there. Okay. And then we got to wrap it around here. There's a thing that you can buy that twirl these around. I've got one upstairs. It takes me a while to find it, but it's not that bad. It's only 6 strings, so you want as much string as possible wound around here, but not too much. Thin strings, you can wind it all, but if you wind all that around here, it's gonna be a 1/2 inch thick. So we just kind of guess at this. Say about that much or so, just so it won't pop out. So I got what, about 3-4 inches there, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that. I'm just guessing here, you know. You could probably cut it shorter, and it would be okay. Now, what I'm going to try to do is, as I wind it around, it's going to be wound around itself. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom and go up. So let's see here, and I want it to go this way. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. See, because I want the string to come around like this and down. Well, here I'm going to start up here. I'm going to start at the top and bring it down. See how that's laying against there? So it locks it into place. Doesn't really matter much. You can just slop it on there. It'll be alright. I would have liked that. Bend down a little farther. Let's see, that's not going to work. Let's see. Okay, now it's going to drop down here at the bottom, so that'll be good enough. It's not pretty, but it'll hold it on there. I'm not going to tighten that up a lot because I'm worried about these popping out, right? I don't think these will pop out. That's in there pretty good. Okay, so now we'll do the next one. I got this like that, right? Got the open space pointing down there. See, that one dropped farther down in the hole because the string isn't as thick. So you could just put this on there and then chop it off later. Yeah. See how it kind of gets in the way. See, if I do this, because I bent it there, it might break there. Not so much with the thicker ones, but with the thin ones, don't do stuff like that. You kind of get away with it with the thicker ones, hopefully. I want at least one twist to hold that down. It's not necessary, but it's just a good idea. Some people like to leave those on, but they'll poke you in the eye, poke you in the finger. That hurts. Okay, the fourth string is black. So black. And then third string is green. So what the top, let's see, 4 strings are wound. You know, they're wound, they got that gold string wrapped around there. And then the two thin strings are just silver. Okay, so 4th string is black. So you see these are getting pretty thin already, so okay, so that goes in here like this. Make the hole point that way. Right inside here, there's like a little groove. Here, let me show you. I don't know if the guitar was made like that or if it's just from wear and tear. See, like right here, there's a little groove there. So I'm trying to get the string inside that space there. These little grooves here. You can just drop your guitar off at a guitar store and have them put strings on it. I'd leave it there for a day or two, you know, if you can, because then they can tune it up a couple times. Strings stretch out. If you just go in and have them do it real fast, you know, you bring it home and as the strings stretch out and tighten up, and then it won't be in tune. So after you put strings on, it takes about a week sometimes for them to quit stretching. So you can cheat a little bit and do it like this. Just kind of wind it up a little bit, you know. I left a little bit on there in case it pulls through a little bit. There's still some thick one. I don't really worry about that one pulling through, but I'm not bringing them up real tight because I'm making sure I'm making sure the pins don't pop out here. These seem to be a really tight fit, so I don't think those are going to, but that's usually a problem because they will pop out. Okay, I'm gonna go see if I can find my string turner, so it'll make the other side a little easier. Back in a bit.